You stopped the bad guys, saved the kid, got home safe.
Gambit is a charming, mysterious character with a bit of a checkered past but the desire to do the right thing. So how is it that Remy LeBeau went from being a master thief on the streets of New Orleans to becoming a legendary superhero? Well, it all started when he was just a young boy. He saw a little girl being attacked on the street by several grown men. They pulled guns on her. So Remy jumped to her defense. It turns out that she did not need the help though, because she quickly dispatched the men with her throwing knives. Her name was Belladonna, and she was the princess of the New Orleans Assassins Guild. And in that moment, Gambit had fallen in love with her. Switching to modern day, Remy was preparing to marry the girl he had fallen in love with all those years ago. His father, however, tried to get him to understand that the marriage wasn't about love at all, but was rather intended to unite the families and be a ceasefire between the Assassins Guild and their guild, the Thieves Guild. Belladonna and Remy both said the words, and they were officially married. Not everyone was thrilled for the happy couple, however, and Bella's brother attacked Remy, punching him in the face. He yelled that the wedding was an obscenity that shamed them all. He then challenged Remy to a fight to the death. Remy accepted the challenge and their fight began. Julian got some good slices in on him, however Remy threw a dagger at him. It hit him in the shoulder and subsequently exploded, killing him. The guild's truce was in tatters, and Remy was prepared to answer for what he had done with death if necessary. However, Belladonna had convinced them to exile him instead, which to Remy, this was a fate worse than death. Belladonna wanted to come with him, however he persuaded her to stay and hate him now, rather than to slowly build up hatred towards him for taking her from her home. In a snowy mountain estate, Gambit met with Mr. Sinister. They made an arrangement that would benefit the both of them. Gambit had lost control of his powers, they were now far too destructive. So Mr. Sinister removed a small piece of his brain, and this allowed Gambit to regain control of his powers. In return for Mr. Sinister's services, Gambit assembled a team for him. Gambit was all ready to leave and to never see Mr. Sinister again. However, Mr. Sinister informed him that he had one job left as part of the agreement. Gambit was to be their guide for their mission. So Gambit led them down the sewers. However, Gambit questioned the morality of what they were doing after Sabretooth killed one of the Morlocks. So Gambit fought them. However, he was overwhelmed by the group and was stabbed through the stomach by Sabretooth. He then watched on, helpless to do anything, as the Marauders murdered many mutants. Gambit found a mother and a child. The mother had been trapped by rubble. She pleaded with Gambit to rescue her child. He wanted to save them both, but she told him to leave her. She didn't want to risk slowing them down. So Gambit took her child and fled the sewers. He left the child with the police and fell onto a garbage barge. Later on, in Mississippi, Gambit ended up catching and saving a young Storm. Even though it would have been easier to just walk away, Gambit once again chose to do the right thing, and by doing this, he showed that he truly is a hero.